The tagline for Xperia 1 Mark 5 is Next Gen Sensor, Next Gen Imaging, and this is because we have developed a new technology called the all-new Xmo T for mobile sensor. This Xmo T sensor actually has a new architecture that we have the 2-layer transistor pixel, and this sensor can perform 2 times better than its predecessor, which is the Xperia 1 Mark 4. The next few slides is going to be a little bit more technical, bear with me, but it will explain to you why this Xmo T is a breakthrough in terms of technology and why it is so good and so brilliant. I would like to start on with a quick sharing on the conventional sensor or the sensor that has been used in the Xperia 1 Mark 4. Okay, so you can see from the illustration here, both the photodiode and the pixel transistor are next to each other and they are on the same layer. But I will explain a little bit more on the single layer conventional sensor image later on. In the Xperia 1 Mark 5, we increase the sensor size and also we now separate the photodiode and also the pixel transistor into 2 different layers. And this results in 2 times better low light shooting performance compared to the 1 Mark 4. Then next, I'm sure some of you are wondering, what's a photodiode, what is a pixel transistor, what are those things, okay? In a conventional single layer image sensor, so you can see that both the photodiode is used to absorb light. So the larger the photodiode, the better it is. And for the transistor, it is basically to convert lights into electric signals. So the more transistor you have, the more resistant it is to noise, resulting in lesser noise, especially in low light situation. Then the issue with a single layer or the conventional image sensor is that both the transistor and the photodiode are actually packed into one single layer, as you can see within the red box here. So once again, the visual here is just for illustration only. So while we have this issue right here, some people may face a lot of issue, especially when you're shooting in low light situation where the picture may be very noisy or it's not as sharp as what you see versus like for example your alpha cameras. So moving on to the new 2-layer transistor pixel architecture, we have separated both the photodiode and also the transistor into 2 separate layers on top. And you see the red layer, which is the photodiode, we increase the amount of the photodiode to absorb more light, okay? And then on the bottom there, we also increase the size of the transistor, basically to reduce noise. And plus, the combination of these 2-layer pixel transistor results in a more cleaner image, especially when you shoot for low light setting. So later on, we're gonna dim down the room a little bit so that you can try, and also if you have your phones with you, please do a comparison, okay? So, to show you an example taken from a global KOL, what is happening behind the camera. And yes, we maintain our triple lens camera setup with the 16mm ultra wide, the 24mm wide angle, which is the main camera with the Xmo T for mobile image sensor, and also our 85mm to 125mm telephoto lens with optical zoom. Now, we can bring these all lenses together and we actually upgrade them to make you to have a much more pleasant and better shooting experience. Now all the lenses we support, so now all the lenses we support 4K HDR 120 frames per second recording for your slow motion cinematic expression. We also push the burst shooting from 20 frames per second to 30 frames per second for all lenses. And then on top, the cream of the crop is basically, we also improve the autofocus capability for all lenses as well. And then there is also something new that we introduced in the Xperia 1 Mark 5, which is the voice priority microphone. So you can see on our image here, right at the red color arrow there, that is the voice priority microphone, and that is where it is located at. The use of this voice priority microphone allows you to capture and focus on your voice when you're recording yourself in a very busy and noisy area. So later on, you can try it out. And of course, last but not least, we also introduced the product showcase mode for those who are doing live streaming and you have a lot of products to share around. So this time around, you don't have to purposely take the product and push it right in front of the lens, blocking everything. With the product showcase mode, everything is seamless and easy for you to showcase your product when you're doing your live streaming or when you're recording yourself. And all of these features, right, including our camera and the lenses, you can make them, or you can take them to another level through our pre-installed Pro application. So we have the Photography Pro, the Videography Pro, and also the Cinema Pro. Each and every single application has their own distinct usage, and the best part of it is you have full control. What you want to do, everything is up to you, from A to Z, from the shutter speed to the ISO, to the creative look and acidity tone, everything is all under your control in the palm of your hand. And so this is the power of the Xperia 1 Mark V, and also the combination of both the software as well as the hardware. Okay, so let's move on quickly to some sample images from our KOL that's taken worldwide. So you can see at night time in a cityscape shot, it's quite clean for low light. But what about in the bright environment? Looking into the bright environment, if you want a more clearer picture clarity, you can look into our Bravia TV there. You can see that the skin tone is very natural, and although it is quite bright, dynamic range is so wide that it can capture both the highlights as well as our shadows. And then, so again, if the projector is not clear, please have a look into our Bravia TV, okay? And next is the C tone for mobile for a more natural skin tone. You can see the comparison between standard and also the acidity tone. The coloration on the skin for the female model on the left side here, you can see that her skin is a little bit more orange, while on the ones that's on the right side, which is the acidity tone for mobile, it is more natural. So this additional color tone to our camera allows you for a more quicker and seamless workflow, alright? And then we also provide you with a creative look for both still and as well as video if you are someone who has a more expressive attitude. We have 6 presets for you, and this is how we utilize the presets. We have different presets for different environment, all catered to your needs. So again, picture from the Bravia, you can have a look for a more clear clarity in terms of the colors and also the dynamic range, okay? So I'm sure you have noticed that I've talked a lot about the Bravia TV, right? So can you imagine putting the Bravia TV into your pocket? You don't have to imagine, it's actually in your hand right now. We have a very powerful 4K HDR 120Hz refresh rate display. So you don't have to purposely look into the TV, but it's right there in the palm of your hand. It's very powerful. This display supports 4K and is powered by the X1 sensor for mobile. And with a very good viewing experience, of course, if you want to pair together with a very good audio experience, the Xperia 1 Mark V comes together with a new amplifier that packs together with our full stage stereo speaker with a wider dynamic sound. And if you are someone who enjoys music or an audiophile, don't worry, we still maintain our 3.5mm headphone jack, which is a rare Pokemon nowadays, also to say. And yes, we also support high-res audio and also high-res audio for wireless. And on top of that, for the movie lovers, we also support Dolby Atmos for you. So we have both very beautiful display and an amazing audio for you to have a very immersive experience with our mobile phone. We cannot enjoy high performance usage for extended use. For example, if you are using it for a long term, the phone will still be hot, but at the same time, you can still use it throughout a longer and a prolonged period without facing any difficulties. So basically versus the predecessor, we have approximately 60% more heat diffusion shield volume built into it. So overheating issue is not a concern for anyone anymore. And all of this technology that I've mentioned to you, they're actually packed very beautifully into our new design, which is the glass with a functional, tactile, and premium design. I'm sure that when you first held the phone on your hand, the first thing that comes to your mind is, wow, what is this surface? So this tactile surface basically gives you more confidence when you hold on to it, and it is also more premium feeling as well. And then we also have a dedicated shutter button for creators who want a quick shooting opportunity anytime and anywhere they want. In the durability department, we are currently using the Corning Gorilla Glass Filters version 2. And it is all not just about beauty, it is also about usability and utility. So the Xperia 1 Mark V comes together with a dual SIM support, and the second SIM card slot is actually an expandable memory card slot. So inside your bag, we have an SD card for you to basically, you can put it in and then you can transfer your images that will be taken later on. So in the battery department, we have our 5000 mAh battery with battery care technology for prolonged many years usage, and we also have a wireless charging. And on top of that, if your beloved Truly Wireless is in need for a battery charge, we also have a battery share feature for you to charge wirelessly into the your Truly Wireless. Okay,